Maximum performance versus sustained performance in a video workflow. What is it? Why does it matter? So when we're looking for video workflow storage, one of the things we want to consider above all else is predictability and stability in playback. We don't want to be sitting in with a client watching a cut and have drop frames start 45 minutes into the 1 hour cut. That's an awful scenario to be in. So one of the things you have to pay attention to is, as you're looking for a shared storage system, pay particular attention to sustained performance or streaming performance versus some other terms like maximum performance, or sometimes they're just listed as performance and they're very high numbers. The average 8-bay disk system sustained performance is going to be about 1,000 to 1,200 megabytes a second. This is because the hard drives that are using these systems are virtually the same across the board, and they are 7,200 RPM hard drives that are 14 to 16 terabyte drives, and they push about 200 megabytes a second these days. When you stack 8 of them or 16 of them together in our RAID systems, they average down a little bit. You get some diminishing returns. So out of an 8-bay system, you get about 1,200 megabytes a second. That's predictable and sustainable. We can run 1,200 megabytes a second for several hours worth of video, for as long as you really need to, because that's what those disks will provide. Now, you can add flash storage, other things, caching, memory, to give short boosts to that. So if I were to transfer a 2 or 3 gig file, Photoshop file, something like that, it might transfer it 4,000 megabytes a second. But I can't predict, I can't rely on that. That is not a predictable metric for me from a video editing perspective, because if I have an hour's worth of footage, I'm going to exceed that cache. That's amplified to the extreme if I've got 5, 6, 10 editors who are working, who are all going, we're going to blow that cache out very, very quickly. So what you want to focus on is the sustained streaming video performance, because that is predictability, and that's what you can build a facility on, that's what you can build a business on.